Welcome to Azure Tips and Tricks. In this episode, we are going to run a Java app in a container on Azure Kubernetes service. To follow along, you should have an existing Azure Container Registry and Azure Kubernetes service. Also, you should have VS Code installed and Docker, the Git CLI and the Azure CLI. You can find links to these in the video description. Alright, let's get started. First, we are going to clone a sample Java application from this URL. You can find the URL in the video description. I want to save it here. And OK, here we go. Alright, let's open it. And that's it. Here is the sample application. Cool. We are going to containerize it by creating a new file here, called Docker file. VS Code is very clever. Yes, I do want to install the Docker extension. There it goes. Okay, let's go back. I will paste this code into the Docker file. This instructs the build and packaging of the application. Okay, let's try that out in a terminal window, right here. First, I'll run this command to build the container image. It's working, and I'll skip to when that is done. Okay, let's see if it worked. So now I have a local image of the application container. Cool. And next, I can run it locally. And it is going. Let me test that with a browser. Here it is. This is the Java application running in a container on my local machine. Okay, let's go back. Next, we'll push this container to our existing Azure Container Registry. From there, Azure Kubernetes Service can pick it up and run it. But first, I'll feed in some parameters with the resource group and service names. This will help me with the upcoming commands. Okay, and now log into Azure. Here we go. Done. Let me clean this up. Alright. The next thing is to log into the Azure Container Registry, like this. Okay. And now I need to tag the image with the Azure Container Registry. Done. And finally, I'll push the container up to the Azure Container Registry. There it goes. Okay, also done. So before I deploy this to Azure Kubernetes Service, I'll create a new file here named deployment.yaml, this one, and with this code in it. This instructs Azure Kubernetes Service to grab the container from Azure Container Registry and deploy it. Okay. Next, let's open a terminal window again. And to talk with Kubernetes, I need to install the AKS extension. That's it. Okay, now to authenticate with Azure Kubernetes Service like this. That will do it. And clear this up. Finally, I'll apply the deployment.yaml file and let it run. And after a while, I can run kubectl get all to see the status of the cluster. And here is the running image. And it should be reachable on this external IP address. Let's try that. Yep, there it is. Very cool. Containers provide a programming language agnostic platform to run applications in. And with Azure Container Registry and Azure Kubernetes Service, managing and running your containerized applications is easier and more performant. Go and check it out.